What's up? What's up? Welcome to another pretty good coffee. Listen, y'all, it has been a full weekend. I'm excited to hop into this week with you. So listen, my brain is everywhere, and that's cool. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about the face because you're probably like, Petra, you look done. I am done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. But I want you to grab your drink of choice. For me, it's gonna be Red Bull and your word, and let's get started. Hey, y'all, it's Petra. I'm your faith bestie, and I'm so excited to start another week with you. As your faith bestie, I am called to help you live life well. And I'm not talking about just feeling well, I'm talking about being well. That means being structurally, spiritually sound. Financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, all the things structurally, as in your entire structure, being sound, being well. I'm called to that, and I'm excited that you join me for another Monday for Pretty Good Coffee, where we discuss the word and we have some good coffee while doing it, or the beverage of your choice. And for me, it's always caffeine, typically always caffeine. And this week, it's Red Bull. I am doing the tropical flavor. Y'all already know tropical or the dragon fruit is my favorite. You see, if I ever have it, or the sugar free. I love the sugar free too. Those are my top three. I have it today. This is actually being recorded during branding weekend, KCFI conference weekend, like all the things. And so I had a branding shoot today with my brother, Kedrick from Captured Moments Photography, and Tommy from Polynice Productions. He also helped out, and my sister Charity was there as my creative director. Like all the things, we had like this amazing time together, just taking some new pictures and capturing some new things. And so my face is still done for that. And also shout out to Malia Nicole Makeup. She got my face together. And she did a beautiful job. So all of their information should be popping up all over the screen for you, their Instagrams, all the things. So make sure that you're following them. But more importantly, make sure you're booking them. Like, y'all, this is a season to bless others. And to really connect with others. But this is the thing that I also wanted to say, because when we talk about pictures and all the things, it's also like it can be very stressful. And this is before we even jump into what we're talking about. And we've already talked about the rebels, so we don't need to talk about that anymore. But I wanted to talk about this before we hop into our scripture, because there is a change that's occurring, and you need to be documenting your growth. You need to be documenting your evolution. Even your appearance is changing. The way you're talking, your voice is changing. I've been saying that for so long. Like, the way I sound has been changing, the way I look has been changing, and you want to document that. You may not need to do a photo shoot and all the things. I'm doing that because the Lord is calling me to different things. And so I want to look how I am in this season. I'm not the same girl. The way that I showed up before is not who I am now. And I need to always be presented as God is calling me in this season. And so there's going to be things about you that you're going to start noticing. Parts of your body, parts of your facial structure, parts of the way that you're talking. All of those things are going to be changing. And I'm going to encourage you right now, go ahead and start documenting it, because you're going to need to look back on this season to see the moment that the Lord tapped you and you said yes. Because that yes is going to translate into change, is going to change into evolution. You're going to see physically what's happening to you spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. So begin to document those moments. And so that was a part of this weekend. And it was so funny because I was talking to the whole team, and I was like, I think that this is probably the best one yet. Because one, it's super comfortable, it's in my home, but also I am fully confident in where I am in this moment and how I'm showing up. Like, I'm not worried about, do you like it? Does this person like it? All I want to do is to be able to present the woman that God has called me as in this moment. And I'm documenting that. This is a diary for me, more so than for anybody else. It's a diary for me. And I want you to do the same, even if it's just selfies, if it's just videos, whatever. If you also caught my consecration diary vlog that just dropped on Saturday, I encourage you, go watch that, because again, I'm documenting this season of my life, the way that the Lord is moving and shifting, and I don't want to miss it. I want to be able to go back and to review and say, oh, That's what it was. That was that moment. I see when it clicked for me. I see when I broke. I see when I shifted. I see when I stepped fully into the yes. I see when I saw God for who He is. I see the thing. It's important. And I want you to do the same thing because trust me, this year is going to go by so fast. It's going to go by so fast. And you want to capture all of it. You want to capture all of it. All of it, all of it, all of it. So let's get into this scripture. We're going to do Romans 8 and we're going to do verses 31 and 32. Romans 8, verses 31 and 32, and it's a CSB version. And it says, "What then are we to say about these things? If God is for us, who is against us? He did not even spare his own son, but gave him up for us all. How will he not also with him grant us everything?" We'll do that one more time. Romans 8, verses 31 and 32. "What then are we to say about these things? If God is for us, who is against us? He did not even spare his own son, but gave him up for us all. How will he not also with him grant us everything?" This is such a good one because we hear it all the time. Oh, if God be for us, who can be against us? But we don't really read the next part. And this is the thing. This is the qualifier. It's like, y'all, you're worried about other people. You're worried about people coming against you and people taking over and people taking things from you, destroying what God is calling you to. But understand, you have the ultimate deciding factor. God said you were so important, I'll give my only son for you. And all of the rights, all of the inheritance that he has, it is also given to you. All of it. All of it. It says he did not even spare his own son, but gave him up for us all. How will he not also with him grant us everything? Again, I've said this before. Some of us are praying about some things, some of us are worried about some things, and the reality is that all of that has already been taken care of through the sacrifice that God made. All of that has already been taken care of through God's intentional decision to create you. Some of that stuff has already been taken care of through our obedience and God being able to trust us with the greater. Listen, some of this stuff that we're worried about and people coming up against us, people talking about us, backbiting, backing out of things, not doing what they said they were going to do, not being as supportive as we thought, all of that stuff. Listen, God is like, what are we even talking about? As long as the one who was willing to give his son up for us is for us, none of that stuff matters. Everything is already guaranteed. And not just the victory over other people. It says that everything that belongs to Jesus also belongs to us. And that's greater than anything that we could get from any other person. That's greater than that. That's greater than that. Stop wasting your time wondering if God cares about you. Stop wasting your time wondering if there is value within you. The fact that God made a decision to create you, it immediately attaches value to your existence. The fact that he made an intentional decision about you attaches value to your existence. God doesn't do anything just to do it. It's all a part of strategy. Divine strategy at that. There are things that we're fighting. There are things that we're praying about. There are things that we're worried about. All that stuff. And none of it is worth our time. The one who is willing to give up his son, but also to give us his inheritance, has already fixed the fight. He has already fixed the fight. Shift your attention. Shift your attention. And we talked about this last week. Shift your attention. Your focus needs to be worship. Your focus needs to be praise. Your focus needs to be submission. Your focus needs to be obedience. Your focus needs to be relationship with God. Your focus does not need to be those things that are already taken care of. Your focus does not need to be about some battle that you have with people, real or imaginary. That doesn't need to be your focus anymore. The reality is that you should be in a posture of worship, as in your life should be an example of adoration and honoring God on a daily basis, every minute, every hour, because of what he has already done. The things that we have prayed about have already been done. They have been accounted to us as long as we seek him. That's what the word says. And even here, it is so clear in Romans 8, verses 31 and 32. If God is for us, who is against us? He did not even spare his own son, but gave him up for us all. Y'all, listen, if he's choosing us over his son for that moment, over his son, what you worried about? What you praying about? How do you not believe that God has already considered you? He considered you so much that he said, I'll shed his blood for you. He considered you so much that he said that he'll also grant you everything that belongs to the son that he's giving up. We want the consideration of God, but we overlook it. We want the ear of God, but we refuse to listen to the voice of God. We want the hand of God, but we shy away from the face of God. There are things that were accounted for before the world began that we're still asking questions about. And this literally says, why? Who can be against you? Who can stand against you? As a child of God, who can stand against you? God himself backs you. God himself calls you valuable and worthy. God himself said, the inheritance that is for my son, I give to you. We want the consideration, but we overlook it because it doesn't look the way we want. It doesn't sound the way we want. It doesn't feel the way we want. There's nowhere in the word that says that it would. What it said was that he would provide for all of our needs. What it says is that he would never forsake us. But it didn't say it would be comfortable. It didn't say it would be familiar. It says the opposite. It says you're going to have to die to yourself daily. That you're going to have to break yourself of yourself. That you won't be able to be complacent. It says that you won't be able to conform to what you see around you. It can't be familiar. It can't be familiar. That's what it says. But because we don't like that, we overlook it. And we think that he's not considering us. And he's not caring about us. And he's not calling us valuable or worthy. But the word says the exact opposite. He gave up his most valuable thing because we are valuable. So I hope that you will hold Romans 8 verses 31 and 32 in your hearts. I hope that you will have some pretty good coffee. I hope that you will join me for the Be Well Pretty Summit happening July 13th. This is our in-person multi-generational experience that is going to have experts in fields of finance, mental health, and physical health. I'm talking about doctors. I'm talking about financial advisors, tax consultants, Medicare and Medicaid specialists, life insurance, trainers, nutritionists. We're bringing out the works because we want you to be, again, structurally sound. I want you to be well. I want you to be well, practically and spiritually. So don't miss out on this opportunity. All seniors register for free. You completely come for free. And then our teens have a discounted rate, and our in between girls, listen, it's also a steal for you too. Don't miss this opportunity. But if you also have not registered for the Hey Pretty conference happening in West Palm Beach, listen. Trust me when I tell you, go ahead and buy your tickets. We are almost sold out of VIP tickets. And we have some amazing people coming to West Palm Beach. The way that we're going to turn that city out. If you thought Jacksonville was anything, I want you to prepare for more. And then I want you to get rid of that preparation because God's going to blow that out of the water. What we're about to do in West Palm Beach is going to turn it on its head. God is calling his people back into his presence, but he is calling them there from a place of holiness. And we are going to bring the people that are going to push us to pursue holiness and to remain in a posture of worship. Because understand that what God is doing requires the people who are seeking to be righteous and seeking to be holy. So if you're ready for that, I want you to get your tickets to the Hey Pretty conference happening in West Palm Beach, January 31st and February 1st. VIP tickets are selling out, and all of the tickets on early bird sale. Don't miss these prices, but definitely sign up for the Be Well Pretty Summit happening July 13th, which is happening first. So you want to make sure that you're there as well. And again, all the seniors come free. All you have to do is register. I can't wait to see y'all. I'll see you next week. Love you. Bye.